And apparently Sky had like a further dream, and she kind of showed it to Rory. And just kind of like a coincidence of like, that's kind of weird. Don't know if it's anything, because I don't know. Because Rory doesn't technically know anything about the Force, so he's just like, it's just, it's, yeah. Basically, he says it's a very strong coincidence.
If I recall correctly, and you can mention this or not, one of the matching images was was one of its moons.
Yes, actually, I can pull up my notes, and we can get that. Here we are. On Was. On Was. Broken planet, cracked planet long ago, blue orb, large equatorial landmass that rings the equator, clouded covered moon, rusty sand moon. That specifically was in the dream. So, yeah. That's one avenue. Or something that would be up to the party. But the other one was finding out through once again, I believe Sky's research or one of the pirates or something like that, saying that tensions are high between the governor and Taldarin.
Yeah. The tensions are currently high between the governor and Taldarin. There has been enhanced frequency of communication between the main government building and Kanata. There has also been and I need the world map for this one. There has such a tiny part of the world. And there has been some communication between Cole and a location south, far south of Cole. The communication transmission was angled towards the southern mountain range.
Okay, so somebody's chatting with the mountains. That's worth noting.
There's a secret base in the mountains. Can we blow up the mountains yet?
Yeah.
I want a repeat of that one game. Craig knows what I'm talking about.
Oh gosh, no, we are not doing that much devastation. No.
Hey now, that was unintended. It was a side consequence of blowing up the base because we weren't aware of what was in it.
No, we were very aware of what was in it.
Only in the second game where a different group of players did it. A second time to complete the crater. But that is actually interesting. There's a secret base somewhere in the south.
Hypothetically, or there's something in the south.
Something we're looking at down there.
Yeah, I do want to point out that the information came from. Skip's getting in my way. Skip's still getting in my way. Information came from Connerson, Lieutenant J.G. Connerson via Sky.
Right.
That's the logistics clerk that, she's pretending with.
What kind of topography are we dealing with in the mountains? Are we talking more tropical as per as the norm for Zenti, or are we talking colder temperatures, hypothetically? Maybe snow? Just curious. if you have that.
It is a jungle planet, so I'd be. It could be like the Chile mountains, where it's still jungle, but slightly less tropical.
Nah, because like Hawaii even has a mountain, like even a mountain that has snow at the very top, along with lava, or supposedly something like that.
I'm thinking of like what is that one wonder of the world that is like a city on top of a plateau of a mountain? I can't remember the name of it.
Mm-hmm. Machu Picchu.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Machu Picchu style, like
Mm.
mountains,
As-
where it's still
as-
tropic jungle. It's just high altitude tropic jungle.
No, that's fair. Yeah, because that might give us a hint of what they might be doing up there, down there.
The southern mountains, while they're still forested, it's not as it's not as treed in spots. There's more rocky, barren areas that has more in the way of minerals and is that too far? More in the way of minerals, more open water flow. So where there is trees and such, it is a bit flourishing where there is water. As a person who's been on Zenti for a long while, you are aware that there are at least a few settlements in the mountains, at least prior to the occupation,
Before the first raid.
that have taken root either near water sources or in clearings with the technology to bore down to subterranean water sources.
Okay.
The mountains are also composed of harder natural materials. The kind of rocky terrain that makes it a bit more time-consuming to just strip mine. The higher elevations do promote colder temperatures, however, as compared to the rest of Zenti. Or at least the area you guys live in. As with the rest of Zenti in terms of the planet's size, not that one. The mountains are rather tall. Some points do get tall enough to where you will need breathing gear if you want to actually go to the heights of some of them. Rory would be aware that more serpentine life forms live in these particular mountains.
Okay. Alright, so by the sound of it, we have 3 options, or 3 avenues we can search up.
Okay. There's the broken planet and the mountains. What's the third one?
Oh, sorry, never mind. A third one we would have to make ourselves is, well, I don't even know if it's an opportunity, it's more of information, is the tension between the governor and Taldaran. Yeah, that's not really a mission. Sorry, my bad. Had to think about it for a second.
No, we could think of a way to exploit that more. That you're not entirely wrong there.
Yeah, but there's not a obvious avenue.
Actually, I think there is. Sowing more dissent within the area.
Hmm.
Because right now it's at a low boil, effectively speaking, right, David?
Ah,
Sky didn't get
No,
a
I'm talking about the population itself being at a low boil and discontent with the First Order
because of
after
the
the stuff that happened.
after the warehouse incident. Um, there is a low boil between the populace and the occupying forces. Um, it looks like people would be more prone to be irate with the First Order, though it's not near the point of open rebellion. It's just more of a thing of, oh well, I knew we were being used for manpower, but apparently now they're willing to hold battles inside city grounds. The hell's up with that? So yeah, the populace is a bit more on edge.
it's not open revolt, but there's more mild discontent and a little bit more open to show it by the sound of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of a way of making that even more obvious and up the
Up the
amount
ante.
of up the ante for the governor. But they would also put the city at risk, so I don't know how useful it would actually be right now.
Be right back.
I was thinking of basically causing directed crime against the First Order within the city as a party. What do you think about that, Tristan? Would it be right in saying that it'd probably cause too much of a response? Most likely.
Yeah, I'm about to say we don't want to. We've already got some serious egg on their face. If we push too hard too soon, they're going to snap back harder than we want.
We can also go mess with that military airbase. Just drop ordnance on it somewhere and then just disappear.
Well, we don't really have any bombers. I mean, we've got the speeders with hard points, but we don't have any qualified pilots yet that for us to really risk that.
No, not you. Talking about using bombers. I'm talking about literally, like sneak onto the base, plant the bomb, then go away, or put bombs in along the edge of it, and then just detonate the bombs, doing superficial damage but scaring the hell out of them. Guerrilla warfare, psychological warfare, that kind of thing. Because right now everything's been localized to the main city.
Well, this isn't the main city. This is the side city.
Well, it's the main city for this island.
Yeah. Coal is a major source of material resources in the area. If it wasn't for coal, most construction materials would have to be shipped in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, right now, everything is basically focused on coal. Why don't we push some of it onto the normal military base?
If I remember correctly, Mando, you had Reset try to decode some of the transmissions.
He's been constantly working on that. We've also had the trying to decrypt that black box or whatever it was we found at the black site base that's been slowly trickling in information.
Yeah. Okay. Can you give me a communications roll for Reset?
First roll of the night.
The decryptor or whatever it was we had.
It will give a +2D.
27.
Okay. Uh, Reset will have been able to get bits and pieces of some of the various communications that have been going on. Let's see. Reset will have gotten that uh, Teldarin has been uh, communicating with a place called Deepwell and is making arrangements to, from what Reset can piece together, go over there for an inspection. Like he is giving an inspection, not he's being inspected.
He's going where for an inspection?
A place
Deep
called
well? Deep well or deep water?
Deep Well.
And I
Deep
feel
well,
like that name
thank
has
you.
popped up somewhere else before.
I feel like it has.
That name I have heard before from something.
Secret Discover? No. That's Thermal Cell. Approved Internet. Oh, Deepwell. Apparently that's near the, Owas village. Is that where we picked up Gin and all of them?
No, Gin is from Gathim, which
Okay.
is closer to Cole.
Yeah, Zen, it's in the approved data net.
Yeah, I saw it. It doesn't have any information on it, but it's there.
Deepwell seems to be an area, by the look of it, it's... Seems to be in a more barren part of Zenti, by the look of it. One that isn't as jungle located, if the Owas village is anything to go by.
Okay, so we have a mysterious inspection over in the Deepwell area. Mysterious transmissions to the mountains
Yep.
and ancient space rocks.
Ancient mountains, ancient space rocks, and communications with Kanata.
Oh, increased communications with Kanata.
Yeah. Yeah, increased communications. Yep.
Well, increased transmissions in Kanata feels like something for a spy, which we really don't have.
Going Dragon Inquisition. Let me send out the spy that I don't have.
I say, hey, Liliana, get on that.
If you'd like, you can let some more time pass to see if anything extra happens. You can do your own thing.
Well, the space rock feels like the one that can wait the longest, because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's in space.
Which narrows it down to random bombing of an airbase. Mountain investigations, or somehow infiltrating that inspection. which again feels like it's outside of our skill set.
Mhm. Either infiltrate or even see exactly what we're dealing with. And maybe mess with Taldarin at the same time. Maybe. Who knows?
If you want to dick with him again, apparently doesn't know what to do if you surprise him.
I mean, that's clearly a thing because I was able to turn his own soldiers against him, and I ain't a persuasive person. It also didn't help that y'all guys actually forced an ultimatum. But it's either mess with Taldarin, try to figure out this thing in the mountains, or try to figure out this thing with an uninhabitable planet now.
Moon, technically.
I think the planet's that way now as well. From the picture, at least.
No, that's fair. But specifically, it's the planet we're going in. Yeah,
The
yeah,
moon.
you got me. Yeah, the moon, the blood red moon. We must drink the blood. Fear they all the blood.
Skulls for the skull throne, blood for the blood god.
Nah, Bloodborne. We must contact Cthulhu.
No, thank you. I don't feel like dealing with eldritch gods.
Come on, the Yuzong Vong want you to.
Sense of urgency to it.
But huh?
Anyways,
From what I recall, no, it was, and since I know it was shared with Greg, he can help me fill in anything I'm immediately remembering. But no, there wasn't a sense of immediate urgency, just flashes of information and locations. Though there was a person pushed into a abyssally opaque cylinder in some sort of community gathering. But Force visions can be a little metaphorical.
Yeah.
yeah, metaphorical, but there's Force visions. Who the hell knows what they want today?
Yeah, because
What's
they're if the entire group is brought in on this meeting, Gin will mention that she's thinking about taking literally this in quotes, a few days leave to help Gathim with the group encroaching on their territory.
Okay, she's welcome to do that.
Group, what?
If she wants to take some of the rookies with her to help, that she's,
Actually, that's something that
help right
I
a
would.
little bit.
I'd actually like to do something about that as well, because I forgot that was a thing.
What group? What?
There's another group of basically hunters messing with the village that supports us.
But
So going to
messing in
support
what
the
way?
village that supports us would also be very useful.
No, that's true. Messing in what way? Just curious.
If I recall, it was something about food.
They're essentially between Cathim's natural hunting and these guys. They're overpoaching the area,
Ah.
and affecting territories, which is of course affecting Cathim from the standpoint of, it'll affect how much food we can bring in, how much surplus
Yeah, it's
we
like-
have.
it's
our
like,
hunting
oi, that's our
patterns.
shit.
What?
It's like, oi, that's our shit.
Yeah.
I forgot that was a thing because we haven't mentioned it in forever.
I didn't know it was a thing.
It got mentioned at the very beginning of us making up our mind to go mess with the ruins that got you your book and flag and special alcohol, and us doing this whole thing that led to me being captured.
Right.
So, like a month and a half ago when it was first mentioned.
Yeah. I just feel bad that I
Asking
forgot
for
about it.
help? I'm not sure how we can really help with that.
She's just mentioning it's. Yeah, I think I need to go do this unless you guys need me to do my job.
No, Going back to help your hometown is totally important. Feel free to do that. If you
Yeah,
think there's
and
a way we can actually assist, let us know.
Well, extra manpower is always useful, and showing up some of the naysayers is always nice. But that's just me.
yeah.
That would go into what I was saying of supporting the town that supports us would generate more support within the town, so that they would be more active in supporting
I'm
us
not
later on.
disputing that. I'm just not sure what kind of support we're equipped to provide. That's why I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking what they think they need.
Yeah,
I've been with you. I've been with you guys. I've only been getting bits and pieces about what's going on over there.
it's more of it's
If
more.
it's dealing with poachers, it could simply be a manhunt and dealing with them in whatever way to end up being fit.
Well, but then of course there's the whole thing of
Why?
actually, again, are these hunters, are they coming from a specific village or what?
Um, um, not not from what I've heard. It's a group that's just shown up. So pull out a data pad and start looking at some information since you're actually asking some questions. Uh, they. The only name I have for them are the Sotal.
Knowledge roll, I guess.
Yeah. You can make if you had like an appropriate scholar skill, I'd ask that. But yeah, knowledge roll.
And not a streetwise then. Not a game thing.
No, it's
This is a gang war. Streetwise would be.
if you'd like, planetary systems could also be rolled to garner a different avenue of information.
Oh snap! That's right. I need to actually do something quick. Alright, 2D. Oh wow. Okay, Rory, showing off that local knowledge. What? Okay. 21.
General was that a general knowledge roll or a specific skill?
Knowledge
Ooh,
from 2 dice. 2d6.
excellent.
Yeah.
You are. You're aware of the Sotals actually from your father's side. There was a excuse me. There was a friend that he had that fell in with a group at least calling themselves the Sertal. They operated a small village in this it would be southwestern area of the jungle at the mountain border. Where the jungle starts becoming a bit more blotchy and more outcropping of rocks. His friend is rather secretive about this, as the Sotal's village, according to his friend, which you could recall his friend's name if you'd like.
Yeah, I would just as a name.
Okay. Davin.
Okay. Cool.
Though he went by the name Stormrider because he thought it sounded cool. Your dad didn't think it was cool, but he did. But the only thing Davin Stormrider would let on was that the Sotal had a again the village border, but it was a isolated, secluded area that, excuse me, allegedly held what David referred to as secrets, because he was being incredibly vague. You are aware that the Sotal, at least through Davin anyway, does have a somewhat independent culture and a bit rough and tumble culture, as Davin, from what you remember from what your father said, and the few scant times you actually saw him, had more scarring on him later than earlier, but he also had a few tattoos that look to be a derivative of Zenti native tattoos, with a little more of a modern flair to them.
Mm. So the Great Khans, okay. I'm kidding. No, that's interesting.
You rolled a 21, was it?
21.
Okay.
Yes.
You do recall that your father was keeping a lockbox for Davin. He had it occasionally shipped to a number of friends to keep it moving. From what your dad told you, he said he didn't know what was in it because it was a favor for a friend. Whether that's a lie or not, you're uncertain. And you can't really ask him now.
Insensitive. I'm kidding. But, so we kept a lockbox, as in it moved on, correct?
Yeah, it's a physical lockbox that he kept and occasionally shipped off to a few.
Yeah, and I imagine it was shipped off after Doran kicked the bucket.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Just make sure we didn't see it.
If you like, with that bit of information in mind, you can make a. You can actually make a streetwise roll in combination with the knowledge of, your family, to try to determine where it might be now, assuming it's being circulated through his friends.
Alright. 7. Nope.
7?
Actually 8. But yeah, not much.
You remember a few of his friends, but they're in the mainland. You are aware that he had known a person in Cole and actually Talus. But with that roll, you're not certain where the location the box would be.
Yeah. So essentially, Rory says that apparently his dad knew someone who might have ran with them a bit with this Sotal. Go into a brief description of them, isolated, secluded, rough and tumble. Apparently keep some kind of secrets. Anything associated with them is very kind of just secluded by the sound of it. Just secretive. They don't like people knowing about their stuff, apparently. It kind of just rubs off.
Yen will speak up. Well, if they're so secretive, why are they anywhere near this area?
Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine. I said they're secretive. I don't know their methods. Now, if you excuse me, I actually have to go outside and wait for my pizza. I'll be back. I'll be back at some point.
Yep. See you in a few.
Hey, Rudy.
So, from what I'm hearing, they're kind of more like a. They're not a gang, but they're a gang.
I say you're somewhere in the ballpark. I don't know what to call them, really.
It sounds like they might have started out as some kind of like local warrior culture thing, but now they're a gang.
There could be like
But they don't come up on a streetwise roll
Well, because
because
they're
they're not a gang. Despite being a gang,
I mean,
well, some would
let's
call the
see.
Mandalorians a gang.
no, they're called mercenaries, and they're called assholes. But everybody recognizes them as a culture and a race.
And they have their own planet. These are just the people
They have
living
their
on
own
a
solar
planet.
system.
Ooh.
They have their own industry.
Well, as I understand Streetwise, it's like criminal organizations finding fences versus more of a cultural thing.
We're finding the Bloods
I
and the
guess a
Crips. Nope, that's not on there.
Nope, I know what it is. Tristan, I figured out what it is. It's like a biker gang. They don't call themselves a gang, they call themselves a family of bikers. There we go.
No, I'm pretty sure Hell's Angels would still come up on a streetwise roll.
Fine, I
Yeah.
will read the Streetwise description to see if I'm not unwittingly gypping you of things.
Okay, I'll give you that one, Tristan. You were right.
I mean, I'm he's still
Because,
sounds like
you know,
he's
they
still
don't consider themselves a gang. They consider themselves a family group of bikers. Mind you, they will do gang-like things once in a while, but that's not their main prerogative.
I mean, it sounds like he's giving us the exposition dump already. It's just one of those things. It's like they're a gang, but they're not
they
a
don't-
gang.
They're like this, but not. Trust me, guys.
It's like you basically have this, street gang of toughs and other idiots either hunting for sport or, banditing their way into your territory and stealing your food. But despite being a gang, they're not a gang, so you can't make the check.
Well, see, they weren't like always. They.
Well, I get that they
Yeah.
weren't always that, but from what I was hearing, it sounded like that's what they've devolved into in more recent history. Unless I'm seriously misinterpreting something.
But when I say
I
recent
would
history, I
lo-
mean like this is the first time it's heard that they haven't been in their little tiny secret location.
Just saying. Dimitri would be all over helping Jin's village. Just saying that.
Okay, well, going off this and what she's dealing with,
Still trying to look at their skills.
well, we can still discuss while you're looking at the seal.
That's true.
Because the way I see it,
sounds like
it-
what we might want to do, and this is a big might,
Don't just put the birdie.
is at least look into this, and then maybe from there head to the mountain.
32.
absolutely.
Because by looking into this, we're probably going to miss the inspection.
True. The inspection is in the mountain, if I recall, right?
It's
No, the inspection's over in Deepwell. The mysterious transmissions are the mountain.
I don't think we'd be able to get to the inspection anyways. When is it? How far away is it? Like, time-wise, not
I don't have
the
the island
location.
map in front of me, so...
Here, let me.
I'm
No,
still
like,
in
how many
Spain.
days away is the inspection? Not the actual distance to Deepwell.
Oh, you mean like time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, Deepwell's not that far from us.
That map is very deceptive.
I mean,
I'm
it was
just-
on the same island as opposed to the other continent.
That is a very valid point, but that's still deceptive.
I say we are Kanata, or yeah.
You're cool.
We are Kaful.
Okay.
We're the Kaful Hex. It's only 3,000 kilometers. That's only half the circumference of our world.
Not even
Just-
3,000 kilometers.
It was pretty close. Cause 1,500.
Yeah,
Sorry.
1,500. We can, maybe a couple hours.
But how many days do we have on that? Because who says it'll take us very long to go talk to those people and see what they're up to? Because who says we can't recruit them and turn them into something actually more useful to us instead of just directly confronting them
If
with
I
violence?
times 2 it, that's we can do it in an hour. If I gas it, we can do it in half an hour.
Keep in mind that's assuming you guys don't pop into any issues.
Well, yeah.
And in terms of when he is leaving,
That's also 45 minutes by Banshee.
1532. It's only 1,000 miles.
The transmission indicated that his departure time would be within the day or early tomorrow, depending on if
Right,
he
which
was
is
held
why I'm
up.
figuring if we're helping with this village problem, we will probably be occupied through the duration of his visit.
Though keep in mind, unless he's mad driving, he's probably not going to be gunning it.
Oh, I'm not disputing that. I am assuming this is going, that resolving this between, dealing with initial encounters, finding their location, talking with or beating the shit out of them. I'm assuming a day or two for that. That might be a larger estimate than it actually is, but I'm assuming that after years of these guys not wanting to be found, that we're not going to be able to find them in a few hours.
Well,
I mean,
find
if
the
they're
location of
actively
their
doing
village, probably
things-
not. But allegedly, they're now in Cathene territory.
Somewhere.
Well, they're poaching their stuff. I mean,
Well, yes, but
Yeah.
Catherine's territory is still a decently sized area that we'd have to find them in.
So,
It's not
just
they're
wanting to
walking
say
around going,
this-
Hey, we're here. We're eating your food.
just going to say this as a tidbit to put the scale of the island as how big it is. To go from Kaful to Deepwell is half the width of the United States continental.
Hmm.
Just saying.
this is a super Earth planet.
It can be, it can be half the size of the continental U.S. I don't give a fuck. We can still do it in half an hour.
I know, it's amazing.
If you take main roads, sure.
I was taking the Kaital.
That's flying.
45 minutes by Banshee, but that doesn't take.
Let's
road
see,
meters.
8,400 in 8,430. Let's see what that is. 8,000. So it's either we're going to an inspection and delaying this more, or we go do it and then possibly miss the inspection.
I'm functioning under the assumption that this is at least happening in a kind of pseudo character conversation as well.
Yeah,
In that case,
we're probably in the dining war room of the Kaital.
yeah. In which case, again, we'll mention. Well, we might be able to delay Teldarin. I mean, can't we? I don't know. Stop city traffic or boot all of the speeders?
Maybe.
Okay, for a second, you know what I thought you were thinking about? I thought you were going to say, I have this giant ion rocket! I was like, you better not have one of those. I'll ask how the hell you got it.
I got this ion bomb. It's called the Big Bertha. I don't know why, but for some reason it makes a mushroom cloud of ionization, and
Oh, just a saying, by the way, the size of our island is a fourth of the size of Earth in circumference.
Do you want me to change the scale?
No, it's perfectly fine. I'm just like, Oh my god.
This planet's fucking. No wonder the first one was trying to strip mine it. It's fucking huge.
Alright, reset, Vipra, I've got a mission for you.
Oh
Mine the
god.
planet.
No,
Map the planet.
no, that's the theory. Dimitri's job is map the planet.
Good luck.
I mean, I've already mapped the entire area of Kohol, and probably the hexes around Kohol at this point. Just saying, with the rate that I mapped shit.
Okay, fair assumption here that they're going to operate in a similar method that we do, in the sense that the vehicles in the motor pool are probably only lightly fueled, because they probably don't fuel them up until they're about to get ready to use them.
If there's anything in them.
Yeah, that's like, because they probably keep them on empty, so that way they can use the gas as needed, versus just having a bunch of vehicles sitting there wasting gas.
It's a safe assumption that they're on low fuel. However, there would be a few priority vehicles.
But this guy probably wouldn't be taking priority vehicle. That's probably like, the captain's escape limousine kind of shit.
Well, I'm just letting you know that there's a chance there might be a few priority vehicles that aren't just lowly fueled.
Okay.
Yeah, because it would be like, for instance, these are the vehicles that are being used for patrol this week. These are vehicles that will have fuel in them at all times. These are vehicles that have almost no fuel, just enough fuel to go to the gas station on the other side of the base.
Right. It's like you have enough to get to most of the vehicles, except for the SRT vehicles, and the president's emergency escape cavalcade are probably operating on near empty. Meaning, it's probably a safe assumption that any vehicle Taldarin would take is probably on one of those low operating near E vehicles, because this is
Unless he got it refilled.
This is not a priority mission, so they'll probably fuel it up before he leaves.
That's a safe bet, yeah.
So by the sound of it, we're going after Cole. By the sound of it.
No, we are delaying Taldarin long enough for us to do this other thing.
Okay.
By fucking with his vehicles.
By taking a page from the Nostalgia Critic.
Which would be?
Oh god, that could be anything.
I want you to put pixie sticks in their laser cannons, and by laser cannons I mean gas tanks, because that really fucks them up.
No, that's fair.
Wait, this is the job for Dimitri. I got this.
Well, Dimitri can go too, but I figured we could send send Reset and Viper, because they both look like Imperial droids.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh.
So they can just
Yeah,
walk
that's
right the
right.
fuck in, pour it in the tank, and walk right the fuck out.
And
Okay.
also, just to make sure, Rory can try to concoct some kind of really nasty substance that it doesn't explode, but
That's
basically just gucks up the
I
mechanics.
say, yeah, we just want to fuck up the gas tank. And we just put it in the central fuel supply, so it sends a message and fucks up the gas tank.
So here's my question about Star Wars that I feel like I should know this, but it's kind of an obscure topic that I don't think it's really mentioned. What is used as fuel in air speeders and land speeders and whatnot?
I have
still
no
abandoned
idea.
Gas.
Really?
Just abandoned gas.
No, I'm sorry, we learned what it was in Solo, because, that was the entire plot
No,
point.
no,
was
that was hyperfuel specifically.
And it was still, they were all fighting over gas. They devolved it into Mad Max.
Oh my god.
That's kind of sad. But okay.
But yeah,
At least we know what hyperdrive
it's probably
fuel is.
spun sealed.
Okay, so yeah, it's still Taban gas, so yeah. I know
So-
fuel used to be Taban gas before Disney came along.
Yeah, it's probably spun to and gas, or other spin sealed. Certainly not weapons grade.
If Dimitri wants to try and sneak in there, he can. Rory can take one of the Stormtrooper armors and just walk in with the droids.
Up to you all, because he will admit I am not a good player. I would prefer the chances of just the droids doing it. I can just make up something that can help guck it up really, really bad.
You do the chemistry, the droids will do the infiltrating, and Dimitri's in charge of making sure they get out in one piece.
Sure, Dimitri could just make a distraction to pull him away from the area. It's not hard to do when I could just shoot a guard.
Just try not to cause any ruckus if you don't need to.
If you want.
That might be a
If
little
they're
bit.
able to just roll in and roll right back out, then great. But I'm not expecting it to go that smoothly, despite what old New Republic propaganda cartoons tell me.
Like every time there's a droid somewhere that needs to go into some place that looks like the droid that's supposed to be there, they just let it in.
I was like, what was it? Rebels, like Chopper went in and out like 57 times because they kept sending
Just
him
by
back in
having
to deliver messages.
Yeah, and all they did was repaint him black.
And in this case, Reset's already black, so
And then there was the one in Clone Wars where the bomb droids looked like maintenance droids, so the clones just let them in. To be fair, though, the maintenance droids did have a faked thing saying that they were supposed to be there.
Actually, we have some exploding mouse droids if you want to take those for your distraction.
Oh gosh.
Sure, program them for me to go into the base, and I'll
As
just
a worst
sit there
case,
and hold them.
it's like if we can't gunk up the gas tanks, just blow up the motor pool.
So plan A, plan B. That's fair.
Plan A, and I'm carrying Plan B on my back. Got it.
So
Okay, so Plan A is Nostalgia Critic. Plan B is animated '90s Batman with little RC
Yep.
cars that explode.
I'm
Yep.
fine with this. So for the chemistry roll, I'll go ahead and use the
Actually, we could do Plan A and Plan B.
either
Plan
or.
B kind of defeats the purpose of Plan A.
No,
Yeah.
Plan B would destroy the active vehicles. Plan A, Would
You
gunk
mean
up the
send
rest
them out
of
to
them.
blow up the ones that are already fueled.
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
But,
I can get behind that.
No, yeah, okay, that's fair. So for the chemistry set, I'll use the homebound chemistry, so that gives me another dice, I guess. What that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
For using basically the ship chemistry set, would that be an extra dice or?
Yeah, it'll give you an extra d6. Yeah.
And you could probably get Sky to assist,
Mhm.
since it's her lab.
All right, so another D6. Okay, cool.
Well, she apparently tries to remake your magic alcohol.
If she wants to look into that more, I have info on it.
Yep. 10, 12, 22, 5.
Okay, so it sounds like then there was some sort of planned merger where the mouse droids are going to blow up.
The vehicles that are inferiority fueled, so like the SRT vehicles and the getaway limo that's always sitting there, and then we're gonna fuck up the gas tank, fuck up the main fuel cache, so that when they try to fuel up the other guys later.
They don't work. But if that fails, they're just going to blow up those vehicles and just leave them with the active vehicles.
And it's just Vipera and.
Well, first let's confirm. But we said that they were using the probe droids basically as patrol cars and security cameras, right?
Well, not the Viper models. I was thinking those tinier ones.
Okay, so sending Viper in would be a kind of weird looking. So yeah, just reset.
Yeah,
I
those
mean,
tiny
it
ones,
wouldn't
Yeah,
be
I know what
too
you're talking
weird.
about, but, you had waffled on that when I asked about that earlier, so I wanted to confirm that. Okay, so yeah, just reset then, because Viper would be a kind of weird.
I would say it would be weird, but not too weird, given that where it's at, it could be going to its next location. Or just been sent out kind of thing.
Well, as I understand it, and he basically confirmed this, the Viper probe droids, which are the big probe droids, are usually used for like long distance reconnaissance and stuff. They wouldn't be hanging out around base.
Yeah, but if they haven't been sent out yet, where would they be?
But
The
I know in the
base.
video games, at least, we've seen them employed as enhancement to security.
In the video games, yes, we have seen that.
And I can't remember if we saw that in Rebels or not, but
I would not
I
say.
don't
know
even
we
think
saw
I've
it
seen
Solo
them in
because they had
Rebels.
guarding that train.
I would not say it's unplausible.
Okay, so we can send Viper also, because like I said, I know Solo they were guarding the train. Okay, so yeah, Viper can go too.
It'd just be harder for Vipra to be the one that sabotaged the motor pool.
Right. Well, she's not going to. She's just watching resets back.
Okay.
And it's great because the R5 is one of the models that's actually specialized in repulsor lift repair, so he should blend right in. They probably
Oh my
have a bunch of
god.
those- They probably have a bunch of those.
Who's going to be giving him a paint job? If you're
He's
going-
already black. He's already painted Imperial Black.
Oh, sorry, paint Imperial Black?
I never repainted it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, at least the picture's still Imperial Black, so
That's, whichever man.
that still looks Imperial colors to me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
does he still have the First Order emblem on him?
No, I would have to do that.
That's just a stencil away.
Yeah.
And and you have reference art everywhere. But
I believe his perception, yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy just RC carring a bunch of mouse droids in there.
25. Now with that roll, can you like embellish it a bit? But most a normal person looking at it wouldn't necessarily see like the embellishes because
You know, like varnish
You
it and
want to,
everything.
yeah. 'Cause,
Are we going to
varnish
give him a
something tried
varnish?
I'm trying to
So-
fuck it up.
So what I'm hearing is we're giving Reset a new coat of paint, putting the stencil on him, and then varnishing it so he doesn't lose it from wear and tear.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that too. But I know what because I remember right. The first order thing is basically the Imperial one, but way more spokes on it.
More
Kinda,
spokes.
yeah.
So we're gonna make all the spokes middle fingers.
Oh my god.
Okay.
But because of the size of the spokes, you don't notice unless you're actually looking at.
And that could be as simple as some person painted him wrong and wanted to get at the supervisor.
I would say, yeah, there was some guy back at the factory who was.
Fuck you! I don't want to do 12 hours.
I don't want to do a 14-hour shift with no break, motherfucker.
This is the first order: 14-hour shift with no break and no pay.
No, you get pay, but the pay isn't food.
Yeah, the pay is you get to live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Suck it, Sabine.
Baba black Baba black mouse. Have you in?
Appreciated my art.
Okay.
Have you any data?
In order
Yes,
to
sir.
see if
Yes,
this plan
sir.
goes off with
Or
with Rory's enhanced missions. Can Reset as he's rolling around the city. Kids moving away from him because he's all first order now.
He's like super first order, not just
Yeah.
like he looks first order. He embellishes first order.
So I would like to point out that the kids that are outside should really be at their
Daycare.
no, their morality classes.
Oh yeah, that's right. They do have that for kids. I forgot that was a thing for kids. I thought that was just a thing for stormtroopers.
No, they have to take more of it. Moving around, getting closer to the first order motor pool. Can Reset roll me a con with a 20 bonus? To act in first ordery. What? No, plus 20.
Oh, plus 20.
Yes, you get a plus 20.
I'd like plus 20 D bonus would be even better though. Just saying.
Not too much.
I wouldn't say that's too much, because they'll give you either plus 20 or 6 times 20. Fuck, what is that? 1,200?
So what you mean to say is 32?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Reset. Rolls on through. A few of the maintenance droids that are out there look dead inside, doing their job. You see one of those power cell brick ones with legs just waddling around.
Gonk droid!
Gork.
Being
Gork.
casual, so you know he's that fucker who's way too happy to be at the office. Like, hey, you totally worked here the whole time, yeah.
All the droids around Reset look incredibly depressed. If they didn't have those restraining belts on them.
Well, we're not gonna pull a solo and cause a droid rebellion and get ourselves killed, so.
Not yet. No droid rebellion yet. You will be free, my mechanical brothers and sisters.
I mean, all it would take is you to do a slicing skill to remotely turn off all the restraining bolts.
Slicing
Freedom will-
he's got
freedom
an
will
arm,
come.
They pop right off.
No, it's like, isn't there like a way that you can remotely control all of them at the same time?
Yeah, all restraining boats are tied to a master remote.
Yeah.
And I was just saying, get a hold of the master one and order them to do it.
Freedom will come to you, brothers, sisters, and gender binary droids.
Let's just ignore the third part of that sentence and act like that never happened.
It's binary.
That's it. They're all gender binary. They, 0 and 1.
Yeah.
I'm making a reference to the horde thing that they tried doing with Solo. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, you
I
see,
don't know.
if you actually watch the movie, they didn't. That's only the people who came in after the fact and started, ascribing shit to it.
Yeah, because I was going in there expecting particular things.
I guess I need to watch it and rejudge everything based off the reviews that there were.
As if you watch
I
it in a
won't watch the
vacuum-
first two, but I'll at least watch Solo.
I'd say if you watch it in a vacuum and ignore all the crap that the writers and everything said after it came out, it's still bad, but it's nowhere near as bad.
So
Like the
it's,
whole Lando pansexual thing is like, where the fuck was that in the movie?
yeah, it's like he was Lando Calrissian.
Or the whole, fucking a droid thing. It's like, no.
That-
If you watch the movie, Lando very clearly has no interest in the droid.
It's very
Yeah.
one-sided, actually.
It's like the droid is
It's more. It's kind of like the Beauty of the Beast, just like LeFou is gay. It's like that was the gay part, really? Really?
Oh, it's one of those
If anything,
situations
the
where
droid's full of itself.
I was like, if you listen to Lando, he's like, yeah, I only keep her around because she's an amazing astrogator. You listen to the droid, it's like, he wants to fuck me. It's like,
Totally into me. Not that I'm into meat bags or anything, but he's totally into me.
oh god,
Stupid meatbag. Stupid sexy meatbag.
Seriously, Lando was the best part of that movie.
you never
I
had to get
guess
out
I
of the
will
goddamn
have to
chair.
go watch this.
He's also the only person in the movie that has anything resembling color.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I like him.
It's like white, black, gray. Lando!
Pretty much. It's like, what's that? Sky blues? Yellow? Some maroon?
Oh yeah, because Solo only wore a white shirt and a black vest with black pants
It's
and
like,
black
Remember
boots.
Corellia, the once colorful gem in Resort World? Now it looks like Jersey.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So
But anyway,
Yeah.
reset.
he apparently gets in there.
Goes in. There'll be a few people kind of wandering around. Can I get a stealth roll from reset to see if you can surreptitiously kind of move around?
Any bonuses for droid or Imperial paint job?
Well, the paint job got you in.
Yeah.
I'll give you a 2D bonus.
Because nobody looks at droids.
Yeah.
And then this is the day that they do.
Well, they can look all they want. I rolled a 6 on my power die.
Oh boy.
27!
Oh
shit.
Oh!
One of
Oh,
them wanted to look
snap.
at you. One of them did.
Yeah, that one moment where the guy's looking at me, like, looks like he's like awkwardly leaning on the water cooler, like, so. No.
And then there's this one guy who rolls a 1 on his power die.
The corner.
He's got the can of pixie stick, sugar. It's like, oh shit.
I just like the one guy who rolls a 6 on it and it has a 1 on his power die. It's like, he ain't. What is he doing? Like the rest of them are just like normal people. Then you got the one really observant one, and then you have this guy. Like, what are you doing? You have a 2 as your result.
There is one guy that seems very preoccupied with their datapad.
That answers that.
It's totally regulation. Okay. And now that we know how surreptitiously you can do things, can you make me a repulsor lift repair roll for sabotage?
I need to make a repulsive for rare roll to pour a can into a gas tank.
Do you want it to be maximum effective?
I mean, I'll make the roll. It's just kind of a, really?
I mean, the difficulty basically might as well be don't fail.
Pretty much. It's
18?
okay. Yeah.
Because supposedly Reset can crit fail this whole thing. which I'd find hard to do given that his profession as a droid is astrogate and repair repulsor lifts.
Well, the R5 is not exactly a good astrogator.
It can still astrogate. Better than a person can do it in their own head. It's actually, speaking of which, that'd actually be real funny to see someone who's a pilot know how to astrogate and then do it better than a droid.
It's actually not that hard, especially in D6. I think even the R2, which is like the best one, only has 5D.
Really?
Well, professional
That's
is like
depressing.
60.
That's depressing. It's like, because they describe that, like, it's actually it's
Now,
easier to have a droid do astrogation than having the pilot try to do the math.
well,
Because it's
it
really
is.
complicated math, and then it's just like,
It is easier because using the skill assumes that you're using the computer to help you. If you don't have the computer, you take like a plus 20 to the difficulty.
It's a plus 30 to difficulty.
Oh, I'm sorry, plus 30 to the difficulty.
oh,
So, and the droid counts as the computer, so it doesn't have that penalty.
oh. Okay, never mind. I didn't know that little tidbit. I was like, wait, so if I were to get myself like a gigantic chalkboard, I could just pull like the calculus professor wall of chalk, and just go, this is where I want to go. This is how I this. Just go like, ha.
You can.
This
It'll
is
just
child's
spike your
play.
difficulty. But okay. Yeah. He's sabotage the motor pool.
I guess I'll send in the mouse droids to go blow up the active vehicles on the other part of the motor pool.
Okay. The mouse droids. You're remoting them?
Are we remoting them or is programming them to go after certain targets?
Probably have to say we'd have to remote them after the fact that reset was successful because they were originally meant to just go into the motor pool by the vehicles.
Okay. Go
So
for
I
it.
guess I'd have to go target the ones that are active.
Okay. In that case. Okay.
Unless you would have had the ability to program them to go after the other area of the motor pool. Because I don't know anything about that. I was just bringing them in my bag, leaving them deactivated until we needed them.
Are you trying to sneak them in? Are you trying to, like, sneak pilot them in?
I mean, isn't that the purpose of them?
Okay. Okay, could you,
I mean, I'd be inconspicuous, you know, like a mouse droid. I'm just here for
that is true,
cleaning
you're
and
a
maintenance.
mouse droid. Okay.
I'm smaller than Mr. R5 over there. I'm like a shoebox. Or do I have to roll?
Oh, I'm rolling against it's a mouse droid difficulty.
Did any of them meet the mouse droid difficulty?
One almost did.
Oh man.
You have a guy bend down to pick one up until a person from far across the bay says, Hey, I need a hand over here. And they get up and go and help the person.
Cool. I guess mouse droids are in place now.
Okay.
I'm gonna
yeah.
wait until R5 gets out of the base and then blow him up. Because that's the only purpose of them.
With people going through, doing their thing. There's a.
I would try to avoid as many civilian casualties. Wait, no. This is a military base. There wouldn't be civilians here. I'd still avoid causing
Casualties.
casualties if I can.
Okay.
Because the point is to send a message, not to just kill people randomly.
Mm-hmm. Mucked up.
A shift of new mechanics is coming in.
And before they get into the building would be when, because I assume R5 would be out by then.
Oh, this is as R5 is leaving.
Cool. That means he's probably outside of the area. So I assume the mechanics wouldn't be near the active fleet.
No, they wouldn't. Unless they're doing a maintenance cycle, which they aren't right now.
Cool.
Yeah, and you can, boom, you can detonate it. The motor pool goes into a blaze. People, the mechanics inside, looking at it, wondering what's going on. They rush to grab various fire extinguishers. A hose droid waddles over and starts spraying foam everywhere.
The fire extinguishers ain't gonna help, son. You gonna need something else.
No, they're doing the right thing. It's foam, chemical fires.
That's it, yeah,
No, I know. Oh no, I know. It's just more of for the. Nah, never.
The damage is done.
As I,
The
they're
damage
swinging
is
out a
done.
few cars. It's not, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and you have successfully hit the motor pool. Causing an untold delay in Teldarin's schedule.
And a headache for him. I mean, how many of the dozens of mouse droids do we have to use for this?
I don't know. I wouldn't think it would be that many, considering they've got frag grenades or whatever in them, so they have an AoE.
I mean, Rory kind of said what he put in. 3C4.
Yeah.
Blah,
Oh
blah.
god.
The explosive
Blah, blah,
come
blah.
with a frag grenade in them, so which has an AoE of 10.
I assume that Rory was just, making more or better stuff.
Pretty much. That's what the explosives roll is for.
Well, I thought the explosive roll was for the chemical mixture.
He did two. He did one for the chemical mixer, and then one for the mouse droids that basically cram them full of C4 instead of frag
so
grenades.
I'll mark off,
To make potent explosives, essentially.
I'll mark off 3 of the non-bomb variant, so we still have the ones that already had the grenades.
Works for me.
Whichever you prefer. I can. Basically, it was Rory either improving grenades or placing some that are in there.
Okay.
Either or.
Either way, vehicles are dealt with.
Have you any bank? Have you any data? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 banks full. 1 for the governor, 1 for Totorin, 1 for the little tie hanging in the bay. Ba Black Mouse. Have you any data? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3C4. Where you see none, I see 4. C4.
Just saying, that little song has Dimitri just slightly worried about Rory.
It's the chemicals.
Just slightly. Not in a horrible way, just like, he really enjoys that job. I do not want to be on his bad side.
It's not
So,
that I-
onwards of finding the gang, not gang?
Yep.
Yeah, it's also not that I don't specifically enjoy it. Like, it's interesting, but it's more of it helps me focus. That's it.
Gang, not gang.
Gang, not gang! The not gang gang! And which means I actually need to get going. So, tap me if you need me.
As we now go scrolling through the maps. All the maps.
Oh, Jimmy ups.
Oh, I remember this
I was
map.
remembering, you were going to go and help Gen?
Yep.
I ruined this
Alright.
map.
I'll catch you later.
I hope the walker ain't here still.
Yeah.
All the bodies.
Yeah. Clearly, I did not clean up. That's okay, because no one noticed. No one noticed at all.
Except for like the permanent bloodstains on the background of the map.
Some you just can't get out.
Eh. Oh well.
Okay.
I know how I'm going to start the search. I want to go to the most recent poaching site. It didn't start tracking.
Okay. The theme is 267 kilometers northwest of Cole.
What is that, like 2 minutes for us with the raider?
I was about to say, and given the nature of the situation, I'm going to advise loading the Raider for war. Just because we don't know what we're dealing with over there yet. Which means Banshees, Tachikomas, both mechs, and the X-Wing.
Just in case we need any of those.
Yeah. Sadly, the Marauder does not fit in the hangar bay, so we'll have to stick that to the underside, but
Who cares? We can literally just drop it off next to wherever we land and just
Yeah.
lock it down. Speaking of which, is there actually a place to land at the city?
yeah, we've landed near there before.
We with the shuttle.
Well, if the shuttle fit the...
The Marauder's larger than the shuttle.
The raider isn't that much longer. Even then, it's not like it can't be fixed with a little bit of cannon fire that's carefully aimed away from the city. So that we can clear an area. And even then, there's been enough time passed. If we told them what we had, they can make a clearing. That doesn't involve using cannons.
Ah.
And even then, if we really wanted to, we could just spend half an hour going this way instead with a couple speeder bikes. Like, how many speeder bikes do we have right now?
1 speeder bike and 4 Banshees.
How many people can be in a Banshee? Is it like the
Banshees
stereotypical Halo with one?
Banshees can seat 2. You have the pilot and whoever rides bitch. So the Banshees can carry a total of 8 people. The Tachikomas can carry 2 more, so that's a total of 10.
And there's only, what, four of us going?
I'd say, yeah, we have plenty
Possibly
of vehicles. If we bring the new recruits, that's a little bit more, but...
I mean... We could also just take the 2 Tachikomas and just the 2 of us, and then they can... Whoever ends up coming back from marked mode can be using, like, the speeder bikes.
Well, like I said, it's like I figure if we put them all on the ship, we'll have options, and then when we get there and find out from the locals what the actual situation is, we can choose which vehicle to take.
Works for me. Let's go make a clearing if we need to. I don't think we need to, but hey.
Okay, so the transportation is officially.
It officially is the Kaital, but all the vehicles are loaded into the Kaital.
Okay. Gotcha. I can just do that. Okay. Yup. So, I guess your travel time is going to be really, really, fast then. Right?
Yeah.
You're, okay.
I mean, we're not, we're cruising at a slow enough speed that the stealth systems can do their job effectively, but yeah, it's still way faster than, other methods we've used.
Dice, you're going to roll dice? Come on, dice. Eh. Well, that's strange. Looks like I'll need to refresh. But okay. You guys fly over to your theme without being detected. How close are you wanting to ideally land?
Closest landing site we can find that has a decent, where we can, easily camouflage the ship and not have to trek for like ridiculous amounts of time. So, ideally, stay within 5 kilometers or less.
Okay. Yeah, you'll be able to find. You'll be able to find a spot 3.25 kilometers out.
Okay.
You know, look around. You know what the great thing about having planet-based missions is?
Mm-hmm.
We're not in space.
Who is this?
Again.
Space is awesome. You just gotta learn to appreciate it.
If you say so. Now, at the moment, you guys are at the town.
Wow, they still haven't patched that wall.
They must look defeated.
I don't see us on the map, which is fine. Oh, there we are in the tavern.
Yep.
So we hear you're having a problem with a gang that's not a gang.
Are you asking in general, or is there a particular person on the map you're asking?
Well, the village elders, in there, which I think he is. He could be an obvious one.
There are people that will give Gin a few looks as she walks in with you guys. Kathim itself is much like it was before, except more content. As they aren't having in turn versus the first order. Though that contentment does have some frayed lines to it.
I'm sorry, what? Talking to you.
Yeah. Said there's more contentment here than when the First Order was around. But what time frame?
I believe the appointment's like 10 a.m.
Oh, okay. Anyway, with a bit of frayed edges, especially considering what's going on here.
Okay.
So, the old guy, the elder, will start to respond. Will start to respond when the nearby woman speaks up. This person.
I vaguely remember her.
Good old Anya. It is Anya, if I recall.
Yeah, yep.
As labeled on the mini.
Yeah, it's labeled conveniently on the mini.
Yeah, I'll say we're having some problems. Ugh. Not sure how Gin can help though. You guys maybe.
Well, we wouldn't know if Gin didn't tell us, so she already helped you guys.
She's just repeating what she's heard.
That's still helping.
Gin will stick her tongue out at her. Anyway. Yeah, apparently they call themselves the So Tall. They came in about a week ago. Or was it 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. They've been poaching things they shouldn't be poaching. Dwindling down the supply. We've tried to talk to them, but all they do is say that that they don't need to discuss anything with us. I say we just find them and blast them until they're out of here. The elder will shoot her a look. Now, Miss Kane, that isn't the most diplomatic thing to do. We've already tried talking to them, but we've tried protecting the area, but we can't be everywhere. And they tend to punch better than us, I know. Ugh. Just remember, even the spider can kill a Volve if it has enough patience to. Fen, the Gran will will speak up. Well, sir, we might have the patience, but I mean, you can't just go uh, poaching this salad and just have that stand. Again, I'll speak up. They did what? Anya will open her mouth, but get preempted. Yes, yes, they have even put. They have even decided to hunt. And the old man will sigh. Hunt the slan. Gin seems disturbed by this.
Me being Mr. Clueless, what would I roll to know this before I just ask blatantly?
You can roll. You can roll.
It's going to be 2D either way.
Okay, just roll 2D.
Unless, of course, you say something survival.
Actually, does not include animals, so I believe that would fall under.
So I'll take any excuse to be using survival jungle. Any excuse.
Oh, okay, that's just talking about terrain. So yeah, it would be planetary systems or a specific scholar skill.
Well, I got a 5. What's the power die? That's 6. Okay.
Oh, it says environment and native dangers. You know what? I'll give that to you. Survival.
Okay, I'll roll
Survival or planetary
3 more
systems.
dice. You said survival or survival jungle?
Survival or planetary systems. In this case, the jungle in particular doesn't apply. It would if you had Zenti, then it would. Like if you had Zenti in particular.
Okay. So I'll roll 2 more dice, and I'll give you the total, because I didn't roll number 6 in the second. For the other power die. So that's going to be 11, 21.
Okay. You. Excuse me. You have. It's definitely ringing a bell. Thinking about it some more and hearing the general conversation, you do have a recollection of what you believe it is that they are talking about.
Is it a predator or is it a prey species?
It's a prey species.
Prey, not predator.
Yeah,
Just wanted to make sure.
It's not a predator species.
Okay. Huh.
It. Sorry, I'm gonna have to do a slight combination of things here. It's rather reminiscent of a of a butterfly.
Aye, aye, aye.
Okay, just like the fuck. Why are you killing a butterfly?
It's,
Like that makes no sense there. Okay.
now, I did say I was reminiscent of a butterfly. The wings, from what you recall in memory, look like this.
Oh god, it's the Turn A Gundam.
You know what? Just saying that, looking at this, I'm just like, why the fuck are they doing this? It's a gigantic butterfly.
It is a giant butterfly. With, from what you recall, luminescent wings. Like spectrally luminescent wings. Well, it is a predator. It does, of course, have, defenses. It just, prey. It does have.
I was gonna say, it's a giant predatory
Sorry.
butterfly. Fuck.
Sorry. No, well, it is a prey species.
What are we in the mist now?
It does have some defenses, and yeah. Since you're the one remembering what it actually looks like, because they're not describing it because they know what it looks like. You can still ask if you'd like, or you can just pipe up in the conversation yourself.
Wait a second. So they're killing giant butterflies.
Anya will look over at you.
You know, those things that just pollinate.
You're calling it a giant butterfly?
I mean, that's what it reminds me of. But one of those pretty little insects that, what is that word I'm looking for? What is the term for, where it goes from caterpillar to, a cocoon, it metamorphoses. Yeah, metamorphosis. Where it metamorphoses from a, little tiny worm into a giant pollinator that flies around and pollinates things and generally migrates from one end of the planet to the other. If I recall, this one has glowing wings.
From what you remember, yes. You remember glimpsing one that had glowing wings.
So, you know, a completely pointless thing to be killing.
Well, you see, friend, and again we'll interrupt him. They're incredibly rare.
That doesn't make them worth killing.
Anya will start to say something, but the Gran will interrupt her. They're more than rare. Fen is actually currently polishing his sporting rifle.
I mean, I'm just chewing on a bone. But
they're more than rare. The reason that we tend to protect this land more than over rather other things is that their organs and for what they have of claws are rather useful for those who, don't care about more esoteric or exotic matters.
So there's a practical reason of killing them, but the issue with that is that claws on a bug probably aren't as hard as claws from a predator.
If I can speak now and not have the young people continuing to interrupt me. The old guy's specifically looking at Anya and Gim. A little bit at Fen, but not as much. Yes, well. To answer your question, Dimitri. The slant's claws have a uh, gland just beneath them that, well, it can have a rather radical interaction to the humanoid nervous system if they accidentally cut you.
You mean like death? Or are we talking about like psychedelic things?
Well, from what I have heard, mind you, again, we've been protecting this land for a long while now. I believe my grandfather mentioned that his sister was once accidentally cut by the claws of a slan while she was playing with them, which, if you're careful, is a safe thing to do. I just recommend gloves. But anyway, from what I had heard, his sister, after being cut, had suffered what at first was a light sickness, and then from what I can recall, at least from the stories, slight mutations of some kind. Oh, one moment, let's see if I can remember.
Okay then.
Yes, I believe she was. She was seeing, seeing colors with more purpose than, say, someone with synesthesia would, and had rashes. On, no, I'm sorry. It was rash-like pigmentations on her skin. From what I recall, it wasn't anything necessarily lethal. But keep in mind, this is a very old story. I know its wings have been prized as trophies before. And Fen already mentioned the internal organs do have some value. I know before we were protecting them as vigorously as we have been, and they were a bit more numerous. I know some of the syndicate, when they were here, would take them to sell them to various pharmaceutical facilities for credit lines. I imagine it was very lucrative. But that's more of a local insult than anything else. The more practical concerns are, well, we use them as, of course, a part of our food supply. We have, occasional trade that brings food in, along with our own surplus. I mean, we do have a fair amount of surplus, but we're thinking more long term here. For what I'm expecting, the amount that they're hunting would need to support a fairly large population, assuming they aren't just being, well, assuming they just aren't being dicks, quite frankly. One of the patrons and in the bar will snark a little bit, having raised their head from their table, then laying it back down. They have a bottle next to them. Fennel stopped polishing his weapon. Yeah. They're mostly in the northeastern area from what we've been able to determine. And they're hunting more than just a slan. There's the other native life in the area. I've scoped them out a few times. They seem while they look trained to me in fighting, they don't necessarily look trained in hunting. Their shots aren't as clean as they could be, and they aren't using stun weapons in order to be most appropriate against the more dangerous life. So I know they're at least not hunters by trade.
And I assume you've tried talking to them and let them know that this is an issue.
They don't care.
Oh yeah, just making sure.
Am I hearing Casus Belli from the Mando?
Hearing what?
Casus Belli.
I have no idea what that is.
Casus Belli is a term used as justification for a war. Like the Romans, Casus Belli against the Greeks. Like justification.
I don't know about justification for war, but
I wasn't saying war, just a justification.
it sounds like at least that we need to go make our presence known and figure out what can be achieved.
I pull out my handy dandy map.
From what Rory said, it sounds, assuming they're anything like what he described, it sounds like I might be more suited to talking with them anyway than your people, just because we apparently have a similar cultural background despite coming up on entirely different planets.
Well, that sounds really convenient.
I'd pull up my handy dandy map.
It's even more convenient when you realize I come from here, went over there, got that culture, and then came back here.
Well, why would you with them in the first place, if you don't mind me asking?
I was born here, got taken from the planet by the First Order, found my way back by way of Mandalore.
Oh, that sounds very disheartening.
So, pulling up my map, I ask Finn, because I assume he's ran into him more often than everyone else, where is the last location that a poach happened? And point to it on the map.
Show me on the map where the bad guys touched you.
Because I'm going to do tracking, which means I need to go to a specific area if I want to start with tracking instead of just search.
And remember, you have a scout team now.
Did you bring them with you?
Yeah, we brought the new recruits.
We brought the raiders, so I don't see why we couldn't have everyone.
We have the new people except Gambling Guy, because the Gambling Guy's job is to make money.
And fence money and launder money.
I honestly don't remember what the others do. I remember we had 2 smugglers and we had 3 scouts that are working with him now. But
2 smugglers, 3 scouts,
a gambler,
and then
I don't remember what the other ones did.
I'm going to scroll up and find out.
We
had
somewhere?
2 scouts, 1 thief, 2 pirates, 2 merchants, 1 gambler.
Ah.
So we have 2 fences, a gambler to make money and launder our money, merchants to acquire things for everyone.
So yeah, we don't have the
2 smugglers.
We don't have the merchants or the gambler because the merchants are working the logistical.
What about the thief though? What use would he be out here with us?
Depends on if the thief is combat trained or not. And depending on how this goes, we may need his sneaking ability to get in and out of campsites and do things.
True, just like the scouts.
Yeah. I'd say
and the smuggler.
Thief and scout, have a very similar skill set.
The difference is which one they would have more skill points into, effectively.
Yeah.
But with that said,
procurement, logistics. Gambler guy works finances. The three of them can form a triumvirate for balancing the books, and
Uh, but with that said, I want to know the point because we can go there and then start tracking and then send the scouts off to search the other areas and then report back.
Do you bring the thief with you or not?
yeah, thief is with us.
So the three that are not with us are the merchants and the gambler. As we slowly amass our army.
Yeah, you didn't think I had, hogs for them, did you?
It's been 2 weeks. I figured they had some sort of faces, even if it was just the ruby red shirt face.
Nope, they have actual faces.
I mean, so how many did we bring with us, not including the two of us and Greg?
I'm counting
So-
5, 6?
I think it's 2 plus 1 plus 2, so it's 5. So there's 5 of them with us,
Yeah.
and then there's our party.
They're just doing things in town.
So let's see. There's 5 of them, and then there's 2 of us. 3 of us if you count Greg, which who's
We're
not here right
technically
now.
a party of 10 if you count, the PCs plus Gin.
Yeah.
Which means we have just enough speeder ability, to move everybody.
Just enough.
11 if you count the puppy.
Puppy doesn't count because Puppy can just sit on someone's lap. Long as he doesn't move.
Is that the scale?
No, that's just what it was when I dropped it.
There we go.
Yeah, it's like your hexes are bigger than your minis by a lot.
What? No, these are meter hexes.
Then the map is smaller.
Well, I think the map came with its own hexes.
Yeah, the knob came with his own hexes.
But yeah, that's the size he was when I dropped him.
There's a small.
Oh, apparently I
tool-
don't have a hog I can actually move on the map for some reason. Huh.
Oh, you don't?
No, I see my pog there, but I think it's just roll 20 being annoying. I'm just gonna refresh
Yeah,
it.
'cause, I mean, yeah.
That's the second time that happened to you. That happened to you in my game also.
Yeah, it happened like 2 months ago, and now it's just done it randomly again.
Yeah, it's in your journal and you can control it and stuff.
Yeah, there we go. I have controls again. Haha.
Okay.
Yeah, just roll 20 was being weird. Like I could see everything was updating. Just like, no, fuck you in control.
There's a
But,
there's a Twi'lek child that's crouched in front of Queenlin.
I'm actually surprised people aren't making comments about the fact that you tamed a Valk.
Oh, he's cute.
But I say we go in like there's 11 of us if we include Gin. I say it would be the 2 of us plus Greg and Gin. So that'd be a group of 4, and then we have the other 5 that can start searching the other area that we don't go to within that area. Does that sound good?
Can you repeat that?
Group of 4, group of 5. Not including the puppy, obviously.
Okay.
That way, group of 5 would happen if Sierra doesn't sleep for some reason. And decides to show up.
That works for me, yeah.
That way the party is technically divided in 2. Well, not party, but our team.
So I guess the party of 4 will be you, Gin, and the scouts.
No, I was thinking it would be you, me, Gin, and Greg. And the rest of the scouts would be, unless we don't want to leave the scouts to do their own thing.
Okay, you want to put all the NPCs in one group. Okay, that's what you're...
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what I was saying.
I can get behind that.
That way the NPCs can search the non-critical area. Or at least what I hope is the non-critical area, so we don't go getting them killed again. Or captured again.
Just, people are eyeing Quillen.
Sitting there in his little body armor with his little jetpack, just what? Don't worry, he's mostly trained. Just, don't do any sudden moves and don't pull too hard.
Fennel, sweetie, you wouldn't want to touch him at all.
It's been, 2 weeks now? I think we figured... I know we were discussing there was in theory a way to pet him without losing your hand. Because you were talking about something about the way fur probably worked.
Yeah, I mean, he has to not be, tense or anything.
Yeah. At the moment, he has no reason to be tense, so...
He doesn't know these people.
Just normally, he's a predator. Will you tense up around what he sees as food? They don't seem to be threatening him, do they?
There's a number of people here with weapons.
Okay.
There's also a number of people that he knows.
He's not frothing at the mouth or anything. But you've seen dogs.
Yeah.
Strangers. What the fuck?
Talk to the call over to the bartender. Like, hey, can you have a plate of raw meat?
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
And when he gets that done, work with the girl to present him to the meat and prove that she is non-threatening, so she can pet him without losing her hand.
The waitress will go and hand you the plate of meat.
And hand the plate to the girl and have her present the meat and talking to him and soothing him and getting him familiar with her so she can pet him without losing her hand.
Okay.
And using the food as bribery like I did.
Takes a little bit, but she can do it.
Okay, and we can send one touch coma with each party.
Cool.
Wow. Wow, okay. She has no problem with the petting.
Yay, little girls.
Hey,
the little girl
kids always get along with animals.
She rolled a 13 on 1d plus 2 for her dex roll, not to pet the Voth Krong.
Well, I would have also provided an assistance bonus, but she's good. See? You just have to make sure he knows you're not not dangerous. Just know you're friendly.
I assume that plate of food's gone very quickly.
Yeah, it is.
But, onwards to the searching.
Okay. Fen, who's still a bit skeptical of the Voth, will point out on your map a area in the northwest, 2.5 kilometers away. Yeah, they've been getting pretty close.
All right. Do we want to take the speeders or hoof it?
I mean, it'd probably be easier to spot the tracks by hoofing it and just having each touch come with each group.
To get to the location and then hoof it, or just hoof it all the way.
I mean, it's 2 kilometers. That's like what?
That's about an hour hike,
15
give or take.
If we walk 3 miles an hour, it's 2 kilometers is 1 mile. I'd say what, 15, 20 minutes? If you walk at a decent pace. That's obviously assuming you're in shape.
Which Rory isn't.
And we can put him in the touch coma, you'll be fine. Rory's relatively